Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on.
What about when you signed for Wrexham? I just want to talk about that, really, because at the time you were at Carlisle, and how did it transpire? How did it all play out?
Oh, it was a weird one, really. Gone in late to Carlisle. I'd signed after 10 games. I think we was bottom of the league, and it was like, can you help us stay up? And it was like literally mission to survive. And we did that comfortably in the end. And fortunately enough, I picked up a couple of awards that year. Players play and like fans play and stuff like that. Only the 6 of them.
Oh,
well done.
Got released 12 hours later.
No, you did not.
Well, it wasn't my age. They wasn't allowed to say that.
So you just got Player of the Year and then they released you?
Yeah, it was. The manager said it was the club wants to go in a different direction.
You just won Player of the Year?
Yeah, literally. That's football, though. That's literally our cutthroat. People don't realise.
And you didn't see this coming?
To be honest, I predicted it. I was having this chat with my wife saying, like, I don't know if I'll be staying here, you know. The lads were all like, nah, you're having us off. And that was like, no, honestly, like, that was... Anyway, that's another story.
That's ridiculous. I've never heard that. I've never heard getting Player of the Year and then getting released, mate.
No.
That's
mate, honestly, see, like, League 1, League 2 football, this is normal, especially as you get to over 30s. We can talk about, but it's 1 year deals and you kind of get used to it.
Mate, I could build a team of 30-year-olds. We've had this conversation. We genuinely have had this conversation, right? I reckon you could build a team of 30-plus players, who are just good lads, who might be a Player of the Year last year, here, whatever. I honestly think you could look at everybody's last season, every team, and go, who was Player of the Year, yeah? That Player of the Year... Especially the Players' Player of the Year. The Players' Player of the Year. If you can find out who the Players' Player of the Year is, I'll sign that player.
Just sign them all.
I'll sign the Players' Player of the Year.
What a team you'd put together.
Do you know why, though? Because Players' Player is not just the best player. It is somebody who obviously has had a good season, but also just a real good, solid leader, professional, everything. Mm-hmm. And if you signed enough of them, seriously, you'd kill it, wouldn't you?
Oh, you'd run the dressing room as well. What a dressing room that would be.
Oh, that would be incredible.
Yeah. So then, obviously... This summer, not having a club and that, I spoke to loads of clubs and stuff, but then I spoke to the manager. I'd worked for the manager, Phil, before, and what he's like.
Yeah,
mate.
he's fantastic, class, isn't he? Yeah.
Just dead honest, just told me exactly what he expects from me if I was coming in, and it got done straight away. Gaffer was class.
So how does that work when he's signing? Does he tell you that you're going to be number 1?
No, so at that stage, Rob was injured, Lainton, and it was Mark, Rob's injured. Come in, I know what you're like, steady the ship and just do what you do in a dressing room and play, and then it's up to you to keep your place. And fortunate enough, like Rob was out for a bit injured, and I played the majority lion's share of like last year's games.
Lion's shares, 30, what did you play, 35
33 and a half in the league, 39 total.
Yeah.
And then you came in and took all my glory.
Listen, mate, it was, right, I genuinely felt a bit bad for this.
So just frame this then. So when you came out of retirement, Ben, you've signed for Wrexham.
Yeah.
Spoke to the gaffer, spoke to Ryan and Rob. Then what happens with Mark? Because some people might like.
How's that dynamic work?
A football fan like me might think goalies they'll be aggy with each other, or
no, you do get some, like you'll have seen it yourself. You do get some goalies that when you go in, they are a bit sort of like just awkward with it.
It's a bit bitter, like that feeling. You get that tenseness off them, don't you?
Well, it's kind of like you've got to imagine it from like the other goalie's perspective. It's almost like. They're not deemed good enough. Do you know what I mean? So there's something about them, whatever it is, that they think they're not good. The manager doesn't fancy me or something. That's why they brought another goalie in.
But only one of you can play, so like you all know the script. It's like
it's easy. I think it's easier for us to say because we're older.
Yeah,
like
true.
say when you are late 30s or whatever, you understand it for what it is. Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, even your first day, I've like walked around, I was like, where is he? I know where he is. I went straight to the canteen. I was like, yeah, you might take my spot, but you've got the worst podcast in the room. And he just cracked up laughing.
Is that what your opening line was? I love that.
It was gold, though, mate. But obviously, I'd found out about Chomp anyway. One of the first things you do is, when you're signing for a new team, is you just look at the goalies. Like, no disrespect to any of the Wrexham players or anything like that, but I didn't know who was playing for Wrexham. I might have heard of Paul Mullin, but that was about it. So straight away, I get on the website and I'm looking at the goalies, and then I'm finding out about where you've been before, what clubs you've played for, who you might have played with. Have we got any mutual friends? Do you know what I mean?
Friend.
Yeah, it's
no,
true,
you are true. You're just looking for that, like, I can speak about that and I can do that. This will be easier.
but obviously I knew you had a podcast anyway, and everybody said you were a good lad anyway. So I thought, oh sweet, we're cooking it, and it was nice, though, weren't it, mate? It was like, just tell everybody about that first day of training, mate. Don't lie, be brutally honest. Yeah, my first day of training.
You forgot your hands, mate. Proper. Honestly,
you leave your hands at home, Fozzie.
I've obviously looked up to you and admired you for a long time, mate. I was disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I was like, yeah, he's been a long time. How long have you been retired for? To be fair, you didn't catch a thing in the volleys or nothing. Mate. You was like proper.
Mate, even like two-touch, right? We were doing two-touch, and I couldn't move my feet. I couldn't keep anything up. I was thinking, I'm dear, like, they've got to be watching me going, nah, you can't play him. You surely can't play him.
And I pride myself on my service, and then he was returning a favour serving at me, and I was diving all over the shop. And it's meant to be straight volleys down your throat. I was like, God, it's going to take longer than he thinks.
I thought I even said to you, I said, mate, I pride myself on my service as well. Did. And I was banana footing it absolutely.
I remember Ollie said when we had a chat with Ollie, he said he kind of, the ball was laid back and you shanked it straight out. And Ollie was like, oh my God.
That small-sided game.
This guy.
He literally, like the first, I think straight away, you got a back pass and you took a touch with your right foot and you went to like zip it into something, come off your toe and just went like straight left.
Disgusting, man.
It was horrible, mate. Then after that, you like found your way back in. It was,
mate, it's nervy.
It was good to go.
Honestly, being a goalie's nervous. I don't care who you are, what you've done. Being a goalkeeper's frigging nervous.
Is it different when you like when you say about another goalie coming into a club, only one can play? I guess it's different if you're like a defender and you play like three at the back or something like that with wing backs. Like, if someone comes in, you probably don't think as much about it. Would that be fair to say?
It's also your opportunities to get in the team are so much more limited as a goalkeeper because you're just waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a centre-half on the bench, like you going, there's one of three I could come on for. I might actually get on today, and then if I do well in that 15, 20 minutes, I've got a chance of starting next week. Where goalies, we're just sat there, drinking tea and coffee and on the bench going, this season I think I've come off the bench once and I haven't come off the pitch. So like that's one opportunity for a goalie all season.
In one season.
In 55 games.
But mate, there's goalies that have done that for 10 years and might have actually come off the bench once or twice. Genuinely. You've got to just sit there and you've got to keep your stuff together. You've got to be a cheerleader. It's like a different role, isn't it?
But this year, even like when you came in, I quite enjoyed the fact that like I'd have to make sure you were ready for games. I've never thought about it before, about making sure that somebody else is ready. Because normally a goalie coach does it, and we've got Aidan who's class, but he's service at times, and he pulls his calf every time he kicks the ball. So then I was doing all your service and that, weren't I? Yeah. And I was like, to be fair, I've actually enjoyed like seeing the game differently. Yeah. It's probably going to help me long term anyway.
It's coming off the bench and having to go and play one of the nerviest things you can do as a goalie.
Mate, I did it this season. I've never been so nervous in my life. I came on proper jelly-legged. Like the first 5-10 minutes, I was like, please don't let me have a goal kick because I've got nothing in me. I had no power. I was like spaghetti legs.
Well, you ain't even caught a ball. You ain't done no warm-up or anything.
They don't realise that like that half-time at 15 minutes, normally you just have a little jog and you walk around. I normally just eat a packet of wine gums. And then so to come on, I was like, that was horrible. But to be fair, it is what it is. Once you get your first kick or your first save, you're like, oh no, I do know what I'm doing.
Here we go.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.